What's up, space pirates? This is your admiral, the boundlessly boisterous Dr. Disaster, and this year, the cost of video games has gotten out of control. The party started off with Nintendo announcing that they were raising prices, bringing Mario Kart up to $80, and when confronted about higher prices, Nintendo said, if you can't afford a Switch 2, get a Switch 1. Basically, they said, the price is the price. We are the gods of this market, and you will listen to us.
When someone asks you if you're a god, you say, yes!
Xbox took this message to heart, thinking they could charge more for their games as well, so they announced that starting with Outer Worlds 2 and moving forward throughout the holiday season, games from Xbox were going to be $80 as well. And naturally, gamers were not happy about this at all, and in fact, it looks like trying the same shit, acting as if Xbox were the gods of the market, has backfired on them.
I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that.
Puny god.
In a sign that things were not going well for them at all on the sales front, Xbox just announced that they are dropping the price on Outer Worlds 2 and their other holiday games. They are bringing Outer Worlds down to $70 instead of $80 because gamers just weren't buying their game from the looks of things. And they, Xbox that is, finally realized what they needed to recognize.
King Kong ain't got shit on me!
We be the master.
Clearly, Obsidian though, the studio that made Outer Worlds, they are not doing this out of the goodness of their hearts. This is a company that picked a fight with gamers last fall, belligerently calling us all kinds of names and telling us they didn't want us to be their customers, when a bunch of us said we didn't want their pronoun system in Avowed. Naturally, that game sold like shit, and now it appears as though Outer Worlds 2 isn't faring any better. At the time of this recording, they haven't even broken into the top 1,000 sellers on Steam. Meanwhile, their contemporary Borderlands 4, which releases right about a month ahead of them, is already in the top 100. Borderlands is priced at $70, and Obsidian likely saw the discrepancy in how the two games were being received. They looked at their own price and said,
Move that miserable piece of shit!
Alright me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, and also, don't forget to follow me over on X, where my handle is Dr. Disaster 1. I keep a list on there of games lousy with wokeness pinned to the account at all times for your reference. I've also started uploading some content onto Rumble too, so make sure that you follow Dr. Disaster over there. But anyhow, let's take a look at the price change for Outer Worlds 2. First of all, it is worth noting that the $70 price tag for Outer Worlds isn't really a major win for gamers at all, especially when you consider that the original game in the franchise was $60 just a few years back. It's pretty hard to imagine that this sequel is worth the extra $10. But let's look at the statement that was put out by the official Outer Worlds account on X. It says here, "Dear galactic citizens, we have received your SOS via Skip Drone about the pricing. As an organization devoted to making sure that corporations do not go unfettered, we at the Earth Directorate have worked with Redacted to revise the price of the Outer Worlds 2. While this will not bring peace to the galaxy or even your local colony, we assure you all that we are here to fight for all colonies in every way that we can." Well, and I will say this, at least they are acknowledging what a shitty, look the raised price was, considering that this is a game that is all about the evils of big greedy corporations and basically just the evils of capitalism, at least in their minds. But anyhow, the optics were pretty bad when the big corporate game studio was raising prices on their customers. It is especially bad considering that there is a bona fide movement in gaming right now for games that come from smaller AA studios that only charge $50 or so. This year has seen a lot of that, with Claire Obscure Expedition 33 being one of the biggest surprises that we have seen in a long time. That is a true Game of the Year contender. They have sold multiple millions of copies, and it was priced at only $50, with a pretty small budget compared to all these other big games that have come out this year. There have been a ton of these games like this, though, that have come out at this price or lower over the past year and captivated the gaming audience, including Split Fiction, Tainted Grail, the first Berserker Kazan, the Elder Scrolls Oblivion remake, Gears of War Reloaded. These are low-budget games with a lot of value attached to them, and it is basically the nightmare for all of these game studios who thought that this was a good time to raise the prices on their games. Because you've got to think, why should I pay $70 or even $80 for a game when these other games are proving that they can crush it and keep me completely entertained at $50? If I really want one of these more expensive games, I am entirely incentivized to simply wait it out until there is a price drop and just keep playing all of the affordable stuff made by studios that aren't running with excess bloat that's driving up the prices. Xbox already experienced a game that they thought would do really well this year getting smacked around because they priced it way too high for the value that we were getting as gamers. Doom: The Dark Ages was, by most accounts, a fun game, but it was priced at $70, which was higher than the two previous entries in the franchise, and yet the game had a campaign that was only about 15 hours long, and unlike its predecessors, there was no multiplayer in this title, so we were being asked to pay more for a game that offered less, and gamers said no thanks. Outer Worlds 2 seems destined to struggle similarly. Obsidian already had one flop this year with Avowed, selling less than 1 million copies thus far, according to VG Analytics, and the reported development budget for the game was around $100 million, which doesn't account for marketing. Therefore, I'm sure Obsidian would really like to recoup their losses as much as possible. So, they're acting out of desperation now with this price lowering. These studios have to understand that gaming is a frivolous expense. It is not a need. It is a want. I hear people all the time argue with me when I talk about these raised prices in gaming these days. They mention inflation as if that explains everything. But what they fail to realize is that customers have the power here, and the market will speak for itself. If games are too expensive in this world of raised prices on everything else, then gamers will just say no. We will wait until a price drops. So the answer for these studios really does seem to be going smaller with AA budgets. I guess they're just going to have to cut their budget for all their stupid HR departments. But another thing that I'm sure spooked Obsidian into lowering prices was watching the controversy surrounding Borderlands 4. For a while, everyone believed that Borderlands would cost $80, but at the last minute, Gearbox decided they would lower the price. This downward momentum on price has to make Rockstar at least a little nervous though. Everyone knows GTA 6 is going to be a very expensive game, with most people expecting a price tag of $100 or more. It worked in their favor that the other game studios were raising prices and creating an expectation of higher prices before their big release. They cannot be happy at all to see prices lowering right now, especially considering how much money rumors suggest they spent on their game. But as for Obsidian, I think they're toast. I don't expect that lowering their prices will do much to prod people into buying Outer Worlds 2. This is a studio that seems to have largely fallen out of favor with people, but we will see, I suppose. In any case, I'm going to leave it there. Drop your mockery of Obsidian and Xbox as they tuck their tails and lower their prices. Drop that mockery into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching me, Hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.